So today I want to tell you why I have made this switch, as well as give my full list of honest pros and cons of using Cursor AI as someone who has now used it for around 2 or 3 weeks to build my new app. Because while I have moved on to it, it is not perfect and there are a couple of issues that I do want to highlight to you. By the way, this video is not sponsored by them. There is no affiliate link or anything like that. I'm not even going to leave a link to Cursor AI. You're going to need to find it on your own on the internet. This is just my honest thought as someone who has used it, because I think that this tool could be potentially really helpful to you as well as a programmer. So first of all, what is Cursor AI and how to use it? Well, the great thing about Cursor AI is when you download it from their app store, you can essentially import all of your existing VS Code settings directly into Cursor AI. So when you open it up, it will actually look exactly the same as VS Code. And the way this kind of works here is that we have a few things going on here. I have a project opened up right here on Cursor AI, which looks exactly the same as VS Code, except we also have this chat window on the right here, where essentially if you don't see this, the way you open this up on Mac is by pressing Command L. That is how you toggle this chat window on and off. And this is essentially like a ChatGPT window you have access to directly within your code editor. And from here, you can first of all choose which LLM model you want to use. For example, here I'm choosing GPT-4. And what's really interesting about this is that the difference to normal ChatGPT or normal LLMs is that this chat window actually has context. So it actually understands and it can read and write your code files right here that you have open in your code editor. And the way this works is right here. You can obviously talk to it like you can talk to any LLM, but you can give it context by clicking on this plus button right here, and then you can give it files that you essentially want it to understand when you're giving it commands. So you can choose this app.js file, for example, right here, and then I can tell it, for example, add a form that asks the user for an email, for example. And now you can essentially read this file and plug the code directly into the file. And the way this works is that it gives this answer right here and it gives the code right here, and rather than having to copy paste it and sort of like splice this code into the code file as you would normally have to do with a normal LLM, you can simply click right here on apply, and then it's essentially going to go and plug that code directly into the code file. Now it's not going to directly put it in there. You're essentially going to get this window as if you're reviewing like a pull request on GitHub, where you can see exactly the changes that the AI has made, and then you can either accept or reject them based on whether that was exactly what you are looking for. And if you click accept, the code will now simply be applied directly into your file, which is super helpful. So that is the main feature and the main way that I use Cursor AI, but there are a few other things you can do here